Hi, welcome to my channel. Oops, I don't know if I just started. Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Laura Crapo, and this is my channel where I do readings on people, issues, like how to ideas of how to make civilization better, like whatever stuff, whatever I want to do, basically. And first I was like, okay, I'm gonna do a reading on Justin Bieber, and then I was like, no, I'm gonna do it on the royal family. So I will start doing that. All right, let me just and I'm talking about the British royal family, or do they call them British, or because it's like the UK, but then they're I think anyway, whatever. Here we go. I kind of feel like the issue with Andrew is it just kind of feels like dust. Like it's just done. It's everything's out on the table. It's already, so I don't feel a lot of change regarding him, like prosecution, like, just it's I guess dust means it's over and done with. And there's no resurrecting that. Be good. Good. I mean, I'm not laughing at that. I'm just like when I um use my intuitive abilities as like a joyful medium. Uh, no pun intended. And so if I smile, that's why it just like it's a happy place for where intuition resides. Okay. Here we go. So that's Andrew. Like Charles's energy feels very like communicative mostly. I don't see him like running around physically doing this and that, going from here to there. It's really verbal and ideas, and he's trying not to like do too much or go off the handle or like be dramatic in his choices. And some people who are used to him like overgiving, like maybe like Camilla and stuff, might be disappointed right now because it's like maybe he made her feel like the focus, like if she might have some narcissistic traits, then I can hear my Canadian accent. I would love to like neutralize my Canadian accent a bit, but I'm too lazy to do that. Anyway, I can hear it. And so Camilla, she is, let's just say she's has narcissistic traits, and she's used to having more like, props to like be like Charles was the plinth on which her statue of herself stood, and now that he's like preoccupied, tired, apparently sick, it's like like where's my Broadway show kind of thing. Like she needs like 5, 6, 7, 8. Like she needs people to be like line up and make my show, like the Camilla show, like happen and come live and satisfy her need to feed on that energy of um it feels like a mixture of like vengeance, sex appeal, like like when people when people are kind of like they love to argue, or like like in Dynasty where it's like, oh, so it's I can't even try to do a comparison, sorry, but like if you've seen Dynasty from the 70s and stuff, like and there's lots of people like redoing those skits and stuff now, which is wonderful to see. Like, anyway. So it's that kind of thing where she loves to like go into room like, oh, it's you, like, and just really dressing people down. And um she does, it's like the cockfight, like she likes to be that rooster, like getting in the ring and just like, like tearing the feathers off. And it's a like if she's sporty, that's one of her sports, I feel like. Um and like maybe, like sometimes like a man will like choose to marry like the bitch or whatever. Like I kind of, because it's like at least it's not boring. I kind of feel like it's something like that where people who don't have a lot of like internal wisdom that they've worked on, can misinterpret the loud personality as good because it feels like vibrant. But it's like there's another level to that analysis where it's like, and she's a bitch, like so, like, and it's not like it's a secret, it's a well-known, like vindictive, secretive, like, like I don't know, like if you had a corporation, like what role could you put her in where she'd like help the company? I don't even know. But I guess deal making. But sales, I don't know. But I'm just trying to find like a positive like round off the Camilla thing with sort of a positive sheen. But like she has a skill set. But anyhow, so Charles's energy has this sort of like orb of energy beside him, which is Camilla, which is this sort of stewing in frustration that like she, I guess she fought pretty hard for this role of queen, like I guess small q queen, and without Charles's constant like energy towards that, people just kind of see her as she is, and so she's like frustrated that she's not the center of attention right now and everything. So right, and back to Charles here. I feel like because he's super old, right? Like he's come to terms with his flaws and his mistakes and stuff, so he's less like bitchy also. Because like I remember when he was like with Diana, and then after, like during separation, divorce, whatever, like he came off like kind of like a prissy, like also a bitch. So maybe like that's why the bonding like between him and Camilla was like compatible. Now it's like he's out of his body, even like he's being philosophical about like the royal family, like the institution, and like the players, and like who, it's like if he's like HR, he's like, okay, who can play this role, okay, wait, I just want to look back at the energy again. I feel like his health is such that like he won't be able to complete his task of like finalizing the new organization of things, and there'll be sort of this period of chaos. So like let's say he's able to complete things or like rectify certain situations, like he'll do like an 80% job on that, and then there's going to be some chaos, I guess, like having to do with his health. Even though like some of the videos that like the news whatever feed thing, it seems to suggest like, Williams, he can't wait to be king or whatever. I'm not getting that feeling. while it's like obviously something that can happen, let me just look at that. Yeah, I feel like the hairy stuff really drains his energy like big time. Um, and it feels like someone the energy is like someone younger than him, um, that is like this ball of like confusing and like overly heated energy. And it's just like because they're so close historically, like it feels like it's part of his body. It's like almost like you have like an ulcer or something, like, and it's um draining him and bothering him, like distracting him a bit. Not that he can't do stuff, but it's just like definitely there and it's like painful. And I just want to look at that. I guess my recommendation to William, is if he cares, I'm just gonna say from what I see, uh, like don't don't try to overextend. Like, let's say something happened and Charles passed away. There's like the coronation and whatever. Like, just go easy. Like Rome wasn't built in a day. And don't when people give you their opinion or your advisors or whatever, like, or your boss or whoever, they can say something to you and you can be like, I hear you, and you can even repeat back their question. And it's like, I'm going to think about this and I'll get back to you tomorrow. Like, I feel like he needs to do some of that where he's not just mirroring people because obviously they would have like staff and like government people talking to him and whatnot. But like William's also a human being and only capable of so much physically with these like crazy various situations, like all the unraveling of like stupid and deceptive stuff from other family members. I kind of feel like Harry's energy is giving like almost like on the spectrum or something. I don't know. Like I don't. There's something about him that's like molded differently than the way I pick up on William's like intellect and abilities, and like just like they just seem very different. I'm gonna try to like look at what Harry's like sort of specialty is here. I feel like he enjoys like direct talk, like speech and stuff, but like I want to see like cuz like I don't feel like he's done super well thus far with that, so I want to see like what's his like zone for like potential good in for that piece of him. Okay. I feel like if he can like put his private life on the back burner in terms of things he discusses, which like, is kind of like a cool way to go through life where you're just kind of respectful of people like in yourself and like you don't it's just not like an open playground for people just to go nitpick your life or like you could be doing something else that's you could be like repairing the east trough or something instead, right? Like you could be doing something that has a lasting value rather than like there's like constructive, I guess I'm trying to say, constructive and destructive. So when you're just like airing the dirty laundry, it's destructive. I'm not saying like don't speak up for yourself and whatever, but like there's like different ways of doing that, like in maybe studying philosophy or could give you cues on how to go about that. I don't know how. I know he's been to school. Like, I don't know if he just kinda, like I don't know if he earned his great passing grades or not, whatever, but I'm not getting that, like I feel like William's intellect has more rigorous sort of academic mind kinda world thing guiding him, and then, so he can kinda navigate, like, the ship better instead of, like, for Harry, it'd be like, let's say, like, so the wind picks up to use the sailing metaphor, I just feel like he'd be going, like, yelling, like, "There's wind," and, like, whereas William would be, like, fiddling with his sails and the rudder and, like, looking at feeling where the direction of the wind and whatnot, so, like, and we all have a purpose in this world, right? So I feel like Harry's better suited as a sort of a person who would greet and welcome and maybe give a good speech at the various ribbon cuttings and things that maybe William doesn't have time to do if he were king, right? Um, and just be like, just keep it on like what he can do, and to not try to be like everything. And just because I haven't gotten into Megan's energy, right? I'll do it. It's like, that's a whole other thing. But like in terms of William, he needs to like throw Harry a bone, like, okay, why don't you host this event, which will make Harry happy because he likes to be like involved in stuff socially and represent the family. But let's keep it simple. Let's keep it what you're good at. Go have fun with this community building, whatever is going on, charities, whatever, because anyway, so if they were to like welcome him back, that would be a good position for him, just somebody who goes out in the community and takes part in those things, because he can give a good speech if he doesn't have like somebody grabbing at his arm wanting more attention. Like, I think that's something he can do, which is constructive. Sorry, let's see. And then okay, back to William. I think William, like, once he figures out, like, where he can kinda slot in Harry, like the suggestion I just gave, then it'll kinda be, like, shelving it, like, taking it out of his body kind of and, like, shelving it somewhere practical and safe and good, and it's just like, "Okay, now I can have my own energy and my body can heal because of this painful invasion of space, like, has maybe ended or, Alright, so what else we got here? Um, I feel like with Fergie, like, I mean, obviously a lot of stuff has come out right now about her connections with the guy in New York and stuff, and, I feel like the deeper you dig with her, it just gets worse, so I don't see her really coming back from that, in terms of being welcomed in the family and stuff, um, it's just I get the word, like, depraved, um, um alright, and then I'm gonna look at her daughters 'cause I've you know, they didn't create that what the parents created, so I'm kinda curious. Alright, so I'm seeing Beatrice first, she has a nice, like, glow about her, she's a nice energy about her. Like, the photos of her and her husband together around the time of their early dating and marriage, like, are pretty cute, and, like, her her big eye like, it's very sweet, and they both look like they genuinely like each other, so that's nice to see. Um, so I'm just gonna look at that. Their husband, I feel like there's a lot of noise and pressure around him to, like, make a change or, make a stance, like a public stance on something, and I don't feel like it's coming from him, it's coming from outside pressures, like, which are numerous. Let's say he's, like, on speaking terms with his family, like, I feel like they have a lot of input, and also the community. I don't know, it's just like a it feels more like ego energy from his family and them wanting to, like, be squeaky clean, so it's like him having some issue with that he's not that doesn't involve him. The family can't make that, like, mental leap of, like, "Oh, it has nothing to do with him," like, they can't just let, things evolve to, healing and goodness, on their own. They feel the need to put, like, a lot of pressure on him to do something, but I feel like I feel this, like, stream of love that doesn't go away between them, that feels like an underground, like, water source under all this earthly, pressure, um, that could then, like, in between 5 and 10 years, like, result in them actually getting back together. I don't know. I don't know if they're separated right now, but, if I think if it were up to him, he wouldn't make big changes and he would stand by her, but he has a lot of pressure, and I don't know, like, like, compared to Canada and the US, like, when you go over to Europe and stuff, like, people it seems like people, like, kinda dress have as maybe not as much today, okay, but, like, in the '80s and stuff, like, people dressed or acted somewhat conformist to society and stuff, and you could say if there's, like, a ranking that, like, maybe Italy a bit more than France, but they're both, like, like, in I don't know, like, one way I kinda try to sort of get by in Paris if I visit is, like, to kinda blend in, it's just that's just to get better treatment, like, I might, like, tone down how I dress, like, to the point where some people foolishly ask me for directions and stuff, and then when they hear my sort of intermediate French, they're like, "Oh," like, but I did a good job of blending in, right? So it's just that kind of thing of, like, the pressure, that kinda European pressure of, like, perfection and blending in is, like, social status or whatever, that kind of stuff. I just feel like that pressure on him is intense, and it feels like almost more than 50 people in his ear about this kind of stuff. Okay, so that's like whatever it is. It is what it is. Like I said, it's like happy or sad. And then okay, and then the other sister, Eugenie, I guess. I feel like her position feels like she was kind of like victimized by whatever situations her parents had created involving her. And I feel like the outcome of the focus on her in the news and whatever will, if she's open to speaking about her experiences and um, people will just sort of see that like she was pressured by her parents to be in situations she wasn't comfortable in, and it's I guess it can be like if things like that persist and you're young and you don't know any other life beyond your family and stuff, like it's like Stockholm syndrome or something. So you kind of make do, like make. the best of a bad situation or whatever, and, so it's I just sort of see her more in that kind of victim energy of, like, what her parents perpetrated. Um, okay. Like, Andrew has, like, kinda I don't know if he has, like, a violent side, like, I don't know if there's any, like, mysterious unsolved cases and stuff involving him. I feel like there could be. Um, I wouldn't, like, I wouldn't let him babysit my pet or whatever. Like, I just don't feel like he's, like, a safe person. Um, yeah, it's just, like, like, when things have just, like, gone over the line, or I'm sure there's some '70s song with lyrics that correspond with what I'm saying, but, yeah, so that's not a nice, area to focus on. So there might be, like, dribs and drabs of news coming in about, like, solving some cases and stuff. Like, I don't know if, that maybe now that he's been arrested, do they have access to his DNA? Might wanna, like, put that in the computer. Um, okay. Okay, royal family. Okay. I feel like Edward's energy is sort of like, the note keeper, or, like, I don't know if he likes to write or if he's into history and stuff, but, like, you know how other family members have written a book, like, you know, whatever, Reasons Why I Suck, or, like, I Hate My Family, or whatever books they've written. I feel like Edward has a more, like, museum quality interest in preserving the whatever you're supposed to do when you keep history. That's my worst subject. But I'm actually, like, now that I'm not in high school anymore, I like history. So it's all about who's teaching you. So, so I get that sort of quiet energy from him around that. Okay, and there's the sister too, right? I don't know why I can't remember her name, but I can, like, picture her face and stuff. I feel like she's, like, very kinda gossipy and kinda shit disturbing, like, background, like, let's say there's some mean people in a room chatting and having wine and snacks and stuff. She is against the wall, whispering into someone's ear and smirking, like, inside her back. Uh, she's like well, somebody else is, like, putting on a Broadway show and, like, pulling up the sets and stuff. She's like she's sawing away at the rope with her nail file and stuff. Yeah, I can feel like that. Alright, I'm gonna get this. It is what it is. Alright, and then royal family. Okay, and then uh, yeah, so I feel like because Will is under so much I mean, I know that Catherine had, like, some health issues, right, of her own, but she may be doing better now. So at this point, maybe her energy is, like, better than William's energy. So, like, if things did take a turn and make she might kinda step in for a lot, like, help him a lot, initially for the first, like, 3 years to kinda just, like, real team player and, like, taking up so that he can have space to heal, and because it's been a lot, like, losing his mom, and then, like, his dad has, like, been kind of a doofus, and then now he's trying to, like Charles is trying to sort of wrap it up like it's all clean and proper and stuff, but it's like you could have been doing that, early earlier on. And then, like, then Harry just, like, I don't know. I don't know. And my dad, had various relationships, and someone was particularly, like, political or, like, demanding that, like, the whole narrative of the family go down this other path, like, having a very pressure-filled partner and stuff, like, that's, it's they have so much stuff to do already, just a status quo, and then to have, like, these various, like, fireballs thrown in, like, of these various characters and their inability to, like, solve things in a sane and wise manner, um, it's taken a toll on his health and stuff, so I just feel like, okay, sure, he can play the role as of king, like William, but I feel like Catherine will really, because she's well educated and stuff, and she's been around the family for a while, like, she'll be doing, like, what seems like more than him, but that's just initially because, he needs to, like, kinda recover, and if, like, Harry can, like, wake up and smell the coffee, like, and just accept a more simple role as because he doesn't have as broad skills in, like, diplomacy and, like 5D chess thinking about, like, what to do next. Like, if he's satisfied with just being the host of various events and things, like, then it's all good, right? If he can just settle down and, like, do that and keep it simple and just let people live in peace, like, I feel like then William's health will rebound. All right, what else? I think, like, Harry needs to see Megan's energy as being, like, next to him, but not in his own energy. He needs to feel that separation where he ends and she begins, so that, like, whatever kinda, like I feel like with her, it's, like, never ending, and it always has to result in her being, like, on camera, whether it's, like, acting or, um, an interview or, like, she has that, like like, okay, like, with intuition, right? Like, you can pick up, like, bad information and good information. There's, like, a whole variety of things people can pick up with their intuition. And some of it can be, like, really kinda lowbrow stuff, and I kind of feel like whatever sort of plan she's seen for her life, like, goals and stuff, like, that might involve the royalty and whatever, I feel like a sort of a trickster energy has been giving her ideas, uh, the wrong false, promises, and, maybe in the long run as a kind of a lesson, because like, we're all learning spiritual lessons whether we like it or not, and I feel maybe hers is like, like hubris and pride and vanity, like, like the 7 deadly sins or whatever, like that kind of, so if he can be like, "Okay, yeah, I was in a relationship," if Harry can be like, "I was in a relationship with her, we have kids, whether they're biologically theirs or not, whatever, like, they're parenting kids together." Um, like, he doesn't need to, like, he can let her go on her own adventure and co-parent and do the things that he likes to do, and even if they don't, like, technically divorce, they can live apart, and he can just, like, get back into, like, what he really loves doing, um, that kinda thing. And, like, it's like, sure, like, he's connected to her, either through the past or continuing on some level, trying to keep it um friendly, but, like, he has to just know, like, her whole life trajectory and story is, like, her own thing, like, they intersected for a period of time. Maybe there was some compatibility for a period of time, but and then, like, the trajectories keep going apart again, so I just kind of feel like he needs to check in with that and go, like, at the end of the day, who do I wanna be? What's my role in my family? Yes, people can co-parent when they're separated or divorced, like, it's, more common than not probably now. Um, yeah, so I just that's how I'm picturing, like, potential, like, positive outcome, whether they choose that or not, like, it's up to them. Um, okay, who else we have here? I just feel like I feel like the world, like, I feel like there's discussion against c maintaining the royal family. But I don't feel like it's gonna end, like, soon, particularly, like, um, and, like, it's sort of like this heated kinda rough patch right now, and, yeah. Okay. Um, okay, what am I getting here? I do feel like Camilla has, like, anyone can kind of pick this up a bit, but, like, a bit of a dark side, and, um I don't know. I feel like if she feels betrayed by Charles, like, I would just, like, have someone test his food and drink and stuff, like, I don't know, I don't get, like, a great 'cause, if someone's, like, willing to steamroll over someone's marriage to just, like, get in there and, like, take over, like, that same energy exists in other situations, so I'd be like, keep an eye on, her. Um I guess okay, let me see one more thing, pick up about them. I feel like too, if they maybe they already do this, I don't know. But, like, let's say they invited people maybe on a lottery system where you don't have to pay to play, whatever, where they could invite like 50 guests of just like random people from the UK, like who want to have dinner with them or something, just to like be more of like an open house. There's not that separation as much, even though it's just a tiny bit, it's still like makes the royal family seem more human. I know they already do kind of like various activities and stuff, but like letting people in their castle to have dinner with them, I presume they have like a very long table. They can make more use out of that, and maybe instead of traveling or whatever, they can invite people to visit them. Like if let's say William is trying to preserve his health and not travel so much and be with his kids more and whatever, like the excuse could be like that they could have these by lottery, you know, Mr. Anybody coming over, just to have a nice experience and meet the royal family, and so that because like one complaint could be like, why do they own all this stuff in this land and we don't get to enjoy it? Like that'd be one way to include people to enjoy their, their land and stuff, so it doesn't become like off with their heads kind of French Revolution kind of thing. What's it called? My God. So bad at history, but I'm just gonna say like when they ended the royalty in France, like whether that's called the French Revolution or not, I don't know, whatever, like deposing the royalty. So like to avoid that kind of separation feeling where you just you're like, who are these people? Why are they on everything? My life sucks. You know, like weaving, like the royal family being more normal and weaving their lives more in a connected way to their people, citizenry, whatever the correct term is for like people who live in their country. I was saying citizenry, but then like the word citizen is really loaded, like in terms of law and stuff. So I don't know, whatever, like humans that live there who were born. I don't even know. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this reading on the royal family. And if you guys have a recommendation for another reading, like feel free to email and make your suggestion. Please subscribe. That'd be so awesome. It would mean I'd make more videos or maybe better videos. I don't know. But like feeling that like, yeah, like go. Like maybe like I subscribed. Like awesome. So that'd be great if you find yourself choosing to subscribe. That'd be great. I want to get past 1,000, so this can be like a more fruitful enterprise for me. And what else? Yeah, I do like healing sessions over distance and psychic readings or a combination of the two. And on my website, lauracrapo.com/healing, you can see my testimonials and what I offer in terms of healing sessions, whether it's a short one or like 3 sessions to really just go to town and like repair your energy. And just like it's wonderful to see clients like their energy and their mood and stuff like after session. It's like pretty incredible. Like it's fairly quick transformation within an hour. I've been doing it since 2003. And anyway, so if you're curious at all about that, feel free to contact me. And I bid you a good day. Now I gotta put on my glasses. All right, here we go.